Welcome to Dodgers Digest, the first post game, now the regular season, of course, live. Mike Nelson here with you. What an extraordinary win for the Dodgers, a comeback win. Shohei Ohtani, a walk-off win, walk-off home run on his bobblehead night. It doesn't get better than that. First pitch he sees, too. The first pitch he sees, he crushes it out of the ballpark to give the Dodgers a walk-off win. Of course, a 6-5 win tonight over the Atlanta Braves. The Dodgers, of course, improved now to 8-0 as they continue this extraordinary start to the season, right? You know, sweeping the Cubs out in Tokyo, sweeping the Tigers this past week, and then now sweeping the Braves, still undefeated. Of course, 2 wins away from now matching the Brooklyn Dodgers record that was set back in 1955. The 10-0 start that this franchise had is a franchise record. And we're, of course, going to be doing this live post-game talking about, your reactions, right? Want to go through the comments here. Jay Villanchillin saying, one word, Shohei, party time. That's right, party time for sure out in L.A. They're cranking I Love L.A. through the speakers, and I'm sure it's being heard all across Major League Baseball as the Dodgers continue their incredible run. We got Greenfin Music saying, that was amazing, sloppy game, but no quit. Yeah, as we know, the Dodgers had a bunch of errors only on. It wasn't the best start for Blake Snell, who, as we know, has had slow starts in the past, and once again has kind of had a slow start here to 2025. But, in the end, the Dodgers still find a way to crank out a win, right? So we got, what else do we got? We got Knox saying, got my tickets for the Phillies series. It's awesome. We got, the Phillies this weekend, right? The Dodgers are going to be taking on the Phillies for a 3-game set. Dodgers will be off tomorrow, but they're going to now take on the Phillies for 3 games in a row. We got, saying, inevitable. Says I'm saying, was at the game. What a game. Lucky to be at that one, being at the bobblehead game for the Shohei Ohtani. I know a lot of fans got there super early to Dodger Stadium tonight, to get ready to, grab that bobblehead before they were all gone. It was a, hot commodity for sure to grab the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead. But let's talk a little bit about tonight's game. We know the Dodgers were, down and out early, trailing 5-0. The Braves had their huge opportunity. They were talking about it on the broadcast tonight. Joe Davis and Orel Hershiser always do a great job with the Dodger broadcast. They were talking about it tonight, how the Braves had a huge opportunity to put this game away in the 6th inning, having the bases loaded with nobody out, with the 5-0 lead, and they didn't score any runs, right? That was basically the defining moment that opened the door for the Dodgers to come back in this game, right? That's exactly what it did. It opened the door for the Dodgers to come back. The Braves not taking advantage. The Dodgers, really showing that they're an extraordinary team. They're the best Dodger team I've ever seen, right? And you can't be surprised by this, right? I mean, the Dodgers have spent so much money the last few years, last couple years, to build a competitive team. They won the World Series this past year. And, they're showing it again that they're the best team in baseball. It's really hard to beat this team. They have so many hitters, and it's just absolutely extraordinary what they're doing. It's incredible, right? That's why we titled this video, No Way This Just Happened, right? No way this just happened again. Shohei Ohtani walking off. We've got a bunch of people tuning in tonight. Want to thank everybody who's hopping on. If you're catching this for the first time due to the algorithm sending your way, make sure to subscribe. We got over 7,000, close to 8,000 people now subscribed to Dodgers Digest. We want to thank everybody around the world who tunes in to Dodgers Digest. Comment below where you're watching us from. We always want to hear from the fans. We got, what do we got? We got Greenfin Music talking about Max Muncy, right? So happy for Max Muncy getting redemption with that 2-run double in 8th. Exactly. Max Muncy is got to get some credit, right? Came into this game hitting under 100, right? And he gets a big 2-run double with 2 outs in the 8th inning to tie up this game, right? Because basically this game was decided in the later innings, right? In the later innings, that is when the Dodgers kind of showed who's real and who's not, right? The Braves continue to completely have a disastrous start to their season, to the 2025 season, still winless. They got swept by the Padres to go 0-4, and now they have, got swept by the Dodgers. They're now 0-7, right? So the disastrous start for this team from Georgia continues, and the Dodgers have taken advantage of that. The Dodgers have taken advantage of, the Braves completely, not taking advantage. They have done so poorly this year with runners in scoring position, the Braves, and the Dodgers, have shown that, that's how you can't beat the Dodgers if you don't hit with runners on, right? You just can't beat them. We also got some more comments. Jay Village saying all the Braves runs were unearned. That's right. Tough, bad defense today by the Dodgers for sure. In the infield, not the best day. And the Braves, like you said, all their runs tonight were unearned. They just can't knock any runs in, the Atlanta Braves. So as I was saying, we got there early, but apparently didn't have to. My cousin got there close to 5 and got a bobblehead. That's cool. Yeah, today was a strange start out in L.A., right? It was a 5:30 first pitch. It was early. Not usually, not every day you see a Dodger game start at 5:30 on a weekday in the regular season, right? We get those 5:30 starts in the playoffs, right? We've seen a lot of those 5:30, 6:30, right? In the playoffs, but the kind of a rare one tonight, right? They started at 5:30 on a Wednesday, starting a bit early. Trying to get some fans to show up early, as we know for Shohei Ohtani's bobblehead. And yeah, had a great crowd, but that's cool if you got a bobblehead, even if you showed up a little bit late. Jay Villain saying, Dodger destiny, it ain't over till it's over. Down 5 runs, what a win. Exactly. This team looks destined to once again go all the way to the World Series. I mean, that's exactly what it looks like at this time. This team looks like a team that is going to be extremely difficult to beat throughout the year. They just don't have, anybody else. I mean, sure, San Diego's currently undefeated. Let's not forget about that. I mean, it's kind of strange to say that San Diego is currently undefeated in the NL West, and the Dodgers also undefeated, but they're number 1. They've played more games. But it's I don't know. I just don't think there's any other team out in Major League Baseball that really has what the Dodgers have from top to bottom. And I think tonight that the Dodgers proved that, right? There's nobody else out there right now in the league that has the kind of potential, the kind of power, the kind of, players. And nobody has what, Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball, right? The best player in baseball comes up big on his bobblehead night. That's what makes it so crazy, right? And it was funny because Oral and Joe were talking about it going into the 9th inning, going into the bottom of the 9th. They're saying, is this going to be Shohei's night with his bobblehead night, right? It ends up being, right? I mean, it's his bobblehead night. We've seen this before at Dodger Stadium, guys having, big nights when they have their bobblehead, and that's what Shohei did. Getting the walk-off homer, hitting it in center field, that ball over the wall. It was just an extraordinary moment, one of the best moments so far in the young Dodger season. And it's crazy because it's only been, 7 games, right? I mean, it's not like the Dodgers have played that many games, right? I mean, it's been just a few games, right? I should say 8 games, right? They've played the 3 against the Braves, 3 against the Tigers, that's 6, and then 2 against the Cubs. So that's why, 8-0, right? An 8-0 start to kick off the year, so 8 games. So 2 wins away from tying the Brooklyn record. What does everybody think? Will the Dodgers tie that record? Will they match it? Will they break it? They have to go on the road now, going to Philadelphia, but they're 2 wins away from at least matching that 1955 record, right? And 3 wins away from breaking it, having the best start in Dodger franchise history. And the way they've done it, 2 huge comeback wins against the Tigers, one against the Tigers, one against the Braves. It's been pretty fun to watch these games for sure. Got a lot of comments tonight. Got a lot of people tuning in. I want to thank everybody who hopping on. I'm going to go through these comments here. I know a lot of people want to get their voice heard, so thanks a lot. Comment below. What do you think about tonight's game? Don't Care 187 says, we survived terrible defense and base running, bad starting pitching, still won. Exactly. Well, I think the reason why we survived all those things that you're talking about is because the Braves are just such an awful team, right? I mean, they're honestly looking like one of the worst teams right now in baseball. And the Dodgers are the best, right? So it was the best versus the worst the last few days. And I think that's why we were able to get through this despite having a rough day for sure. JV, don't care when he said sit in the park that waiting for traffic to clear out. Yeah, I'm sure the traffic is super bad because a lot of fans, I was watching, the game, and a lot of fans are still there, right? A lot of fans did not leave early tonight. They stuck around to the end. Tune in, comment below if you're still at the stadium. Comment below how bad is the traffic. I know tonight was a sellout. So how bad is the traffic with everybody sticking around until the end? Because, we know with Dodger fans, a lot of fans are pulling out 6th, 7th inning. But I think tonight everybody stuck around, right? Everybody had a feeling that something special could happen. And that's cool that a lot of fans stuck around. So comment below. Don't care 187 still at the parking lot. Jay Villain, Shillin saying middle of the lineup for the Dodgers, of course, saved us, of course. Planet saying this team takes daggers to the heart, takes them out, and then uses the dagger on their opponent. And that's what it's looking like for sure. Don't Care 187 says, I got to the stadium at 2 p.m., didn't want to chance it and not get my ball. That's a real fan. Getting to the stadium at 2 p.m. to get the bobblehead, right? That's pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever done it. See, the earliest I've ever gotten to Dodger Stadium for a bobblehead, I think was 90 minutes before. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it was Tommy Lasorda, rest in peace. I think there was a Tommy Lasorda bobblehead that was pretty something that everybody wanted, and I believe I got there about 90 minutes before first pitch. That's the earliest I've ever been for a bobblehead game. Another time that I got really early to the ballpark was when the Dodgers took on the Cubs in Game 5 of the NLCS back in, what is this? This is a long time ago. I was still in college, like 2015, 2016. The Dodgers had not been in the World Series in almost 30 years. The Cubs, as we know, had not won the World Series in so long. So it was a really packed game. I remember that game was really a hot ticket. There were so many Cubs fans that I went to Game 5. The series was 2-2 when I went. So it was basically could have went either way. Could have went any way. I remember in that Game 5. So. That was the earliest I remember getting to the stadium way back then. But yeah, getting to the ballpark early is always important, right? Jay Villain said, any word when Freddie Freeman comes back? Well, the last word that we got from Freddie is that it's a day-to-day injury. We don't have an exact timetable yet on when Freddie will be back with the Dodgers, but going to be day-to-day. Seth's out saying, yes, we got there around 1 p.m. Wow, we got another fan showing up at 1 p.m. for tonight. So, yeah, I mean, I was looking earlier. There was a whole line of fans early. Some fans, like I said, got there a little late tonight because it was about a weekday start at 5:30. So a lot of fans, of course, getting off work late, getting off work at 5:30, or even 6. So there was a bit of a lag for sure for the fans pulling in for the bobblehead. But Ohtani has an extraordinary night, proving he's the best player in baseball right now, and maybe the best player ever, right? I mean, I think that's what everybody's starting to wonder, because Ohtani continues to amaze everybody night in, night out. Once again, getting a walk-off home run. What is everybody saying out there? What do you guys think about the Dodgers? The Dodgers, proving. We got so many fans tuning in. I can't even keep up with all these comments. I'm going to need a producer to go through all this, but thanks everybody for tuning in. If this is the first time you're watching tonight's live stream, if you're watching the post-game, this is the first time we kind of do the live post-game right after the game. It seems like a lot of you are really hooked on doing it live, so we're going to try to do this live more often. Comment below. What do you think about the Dodgers, right? I mean, this team looks unbeatable at this time. They have been unbeatable, right? They're undefeated right now. So, what do you think? I mean, this team, are they going to tie that record or not? I mean, the 10-0 record, I think that's what everybody's starting to wonder if they're going to do that. Because, I mean, I want them to do it. I want them to match the Brooklyn Dodger record, right? I mean, I think matching that franchise record would be something super special if they're able to accomplish that on Saturday. And if they're able to break that record on Sunday, come on, that would be absolutely incredible. If they can have the best Dodgers start in franchise history. I mean, this Dodger team goes back so many decades, right? I mean, it's a team that has so much history, one of the most storied franchises in Major League Baseball history. So if they can, match that record or, beat their own record this weekend, I think that would be super cool, and I think a lot of fans would really, really like that. So what does everybody out there think about the Dodgers? Going to go here through the comments as we continue here this live post-game. Dodgers defeating the Braves tonight. Walk-off win. They sweep the Braves. Braves still looking for their first win this season. Let's go through Cesar saying we got there round one. We already said that comment. We got KB saying the best offensive player in baseball right now. I think you're talking about Ohtani. That's right. Yeah, he has to be the best baseball player in the best offensive baseball player for sure. Knox saying gonna be tough in Philadelphia. It's cold out there, right? It's cold here. So yeah, I mean, it is going to be tough in Philadelphia. The weather is going to be cold on Friday and Saturday. As we know, in Philadelphia, they actually do have a real winter and a real spring, so it will be chilly. But I did check the forecast for Saturday and Sunday, and it doesn't look that cold. I mean, it's going to be 75 on Sunday in Philadelphia. We know it gets a little bit crazy out there in the spring. You get these really cold days, and you get these really warm, humid days out there back east. So it's not going to be that crazy, the weather, right? It won't be that cold, right? So I think the Dodgers can kind of, get used to it for sure. I don't think the weather won't play too much of a factor, I think, this weekend. At least in my opinion. I don't think it'll play too much of a factor. I mean, if this series would have been with, more, a little bit more cold weather, I think there might have been some talk about that, but I think the Dodgers will be perfectly fine this weekend in Philadelphia. We got Jay Village saying, I hope so. Phillies are tough. I'm in NorCal, but I'm definitely flying down to support the Dodgers. Of course, yeah, you got to fly down to support the Dodgers. Phillies are going to be tough, right? I think that's a good observation there. What does everybody think, though? The Phillies are one of the baseball's best teams, right? I mean, they got we got Bryce Harper out there. We got Kyle Schwarber. A lot of these players, as we know, are one of baseball's most dangerous hitters, and they got a good pitching rotation as well. So I think it's going to be a real test. It could be the NLCS preview, right? It could be the 2025 NLCS preview. A couple teams that have been in the World Series recently have been NL pennant champions, right? So this could be a preview of the NLCS. Could be a preview, for teams, for both of these teams, right? I think it's definitely a real possibility. We got, says I'm saying I'm on the 710, almost home, not driving though. Yeah, definitely still a lot of traffic, I can imagine, on those freeways, LA freeways after the game. Thanks for hopping on, though. Appreciate everybody who's hopping on. I know a lot of you are still in the parking lot trying to get out. And, instead of turning on the radio, you can always go to Dodgers Digest, right? We got the live post game. We got the coverage like nobody else. So if you're seeing the channel for the first time, maybe maybe the algorithm sent you this way. You just typed in Dodgers. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm bringing you everyday content here, and I want to thank everybody for hopping on. We got Kali saying Philly fans can't stand them. Yeah, Philly fans can't stand the Dodgers, right? We know that. That's for sure. The Philadelphia fans absolutely cannot stand the Dodgers. Philly fans can't stand any California team. I think that's a given. Jay Villain saying Dodgers making a statement to start this season. That's exactly right. They are making a statement, to say the least. This team is making a statement. They are, really at this point, I think they're making a statement that they are the team to beat, right? Which is not a surprise, right? I mean, who is surprised really with the Dodgers doing what they're doing, right? That's really what it comes down to. You can't be surprised, right? Because this team was built to win. They were built to be contenders, built to, defend their World Series, built to go back. They were built to, continue forward, right? That's exactly what this Dodgers team was built for. They're built to keep winning games, to keep. That's exactly what they were built for. I mean, there's nobody in baseball, like I said before, that has the kind of roster the Dodgers have. I mean, anybody out there disagree, comment. I mean, nobody else. There's nobody really that has what the Dodgers have. So the Dodgers having the kind of start that they're having, you can't be too surprised at all. This is a good question here from KB asking, will the Dodgers lose 3 straight games this season? That's a good question. I mean, looking at this team, I mean, what does everybody think? I don't think they will. I mean, will the Dodgers lose 3 in a row all year? I mean, they could. I guess if they have injury concerns. Getting swept, though, would be a big. I mean, maybe getting swept in a 2-game set, that can happen, right? But will the Dodgers really lose 3 games in a row at any point this year? Right? I mean, that's a very solid point, right? Because the way it's going, the way it's set up, the way their rotation is set up, the way they have so much, pitchers and players, and they got Ohtani, they got Mookie Betts, they got Freddie Freeman. I can go down the line, right? They got all these players. How do they lose 3 games in a row this year, right? I mean, maybe they lose 3 once, but not twice. I don't think they'll lose 3 times in a row twice this year. Unlikely. Maybe they'll do it once, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go here through more comments. Devin Richards saying, Lord, I'm so glad Max Muncy was able to get that double RB. Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest moment along with Ohtani's walk-off, right? I mean, Muncy getting that double, tying up that game in the 8th inning was huge, right? I mean, it was an absolutely big moment for sure. It was 2 outs as well. There's 2 outs when Muncy gets that double, and that really made the difference, right? It ties up this game 5-5. When the Dodgers tied up this game, that there was a strong possibility they were going to win, right? I mean, you kind of felt that knowing the way the game was going, the way the Braves have been playing as of late, choking, playing bad, not hitting with runners on, not really playing, competitive baseball, right? I mean, they're looking like a AAA team right now. So, you can't be too surprised at all when Max Muncy tied up the game, right? That's, you knew the Dodgers were going to come back. We got more comments here. No torpedo bats needed from Brian Sevilla. That's right. No torpedo bats needed. The Dodgers don't need torpedo bats. They're knocking the ball out of the park. They're getting the extra base hits with regular, old-fashioned, run-of-the-line, run-of-the-mill baseball bats. So they don't have to cheat to win, unlike that other team in New York, right? So that's a very good observation. Kylie's saying Muncy needed that. Devin Richards also saying, yeah, he really did. Exactly. Yeah, Muncy definitely needed that moment. It's kind of funny how we're talking about Shohei because, Shohei Ohtani walks off, but we're also kind of really shining the light here on Max Muncy. I see a lot of fans really talking about that here in the comments. Max Muncy really did need that, right? He really did need that double to, gain his confidence, right? Coming into this game, he was hitting under 100. I believe he's still 96 or 100 right there after that double. So still, his average is still very low. Now, and I'm not at all where you want Max Muncy to be at. So yeah, he did need that. Benjamin Sue Sun saying, best start of any World Series winner in baseball history. That's right. The Dodgers have now broken the 1933 Yankees record for basically most wins for a defending World Series champion. The 1933 Yankees went 7-0 to start off their year after winning the 1932 World Series. That's crazy. 1932, that was almost 100 years ago. But anyway, that 100-year record for defending World Series champions, the 1933 Yankees went 7-0. The Dodgers have now beaten that record and have gone 8-0. Pretty extraordinary. They have broken that record. The best start for the World Series defending World Series champion. Isaac Garcia says, finally got a complete roster from top to bottom. That's right. Finally, a complete roster That is exactly right. I mean, a complete roster from pitchers, from everything, infield, outfield. This team is completely stacked. There's no doubt about it. Devin Richards saying, I could see maybe losing 3 to Arizona last season. No, I don't think so. Come on, Devin. Arizona has an extremely, tough problem this year with their, Jordan Montgomery out for the year. I don't think Arizona is that good, right? I mean, I'm sure they're a good team, but they're not a team I think the Dodgers are gonna have to worry about this year. I really think the Dodgers, would have to worry more about maybe San Diego, right? I mean, they're undefeated right now, right? I think that would be the team. Says I was saying, Padres haven't lost either. Should be great matchups against the Dodgers. That's going to be early June, right? The first time we're going to see San Diego and LA get together for the first time since that NLDS where the Dodgers came back and won. It's going to be so fun to watch those games in early June because think about it. This is going to be the Dodgers and San Diego playing again since that famous NLDS last year, right? Where the Dodgers came back and broke San Diego's heart because San Diego last year, I mean, come on. If they would have beat the Dodgers, they would have went to the World Series. Anybody can agree with me on that. They would have went all the way. So the Padres are extremely motivated right now when they take on the Dodgers. No doubt about it. Benjamin Sun saying, Mike, every team wins 41 games. At least every team loses 41 games at least once. Yeah, of course, you're going to lose about 40, but the question is, are they going to really lose 3 in a row? That's the big question. Are they really going to lose 3 in a row at any time during this year? That's a big question mark. Jay Villansillan got a question here. We got, Mike, what's your thoughts on our pitching so far? What are your thoughts on the pitching so far? So, I think the pitching has been very good. I mean, I think the starting pitching is a lot better this year than last year. There is no doubt about it. Come on, guys. The pitching this year is better than last year. It's just better. It's better in every sense of the word. I mean, we got Blake Snell this year. I mean, sure, he had he's had a little bit struggles here and there, but he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna figure it out. And Tyler Glasnow looked great in his first start this year. Dustin May looked good. Yoshinobu Yamamoto looked good. So the starting, Roki Sasaki, okay, he didn't look that good. But outside of that, everybody else is at their optimal, shape, and they look really good out there for sure. Everybody does. Everybody looks really good. And I think it's going to be, the Dodgers are going to be, really a team that they're going to rely upon their pitching all year long. Sure, they have the best offense, but they're going to rely also on the starting pitching to get the job done because they can't have the bullpen again. They can't rely on bullpen games to win the World Series again, right? That's just not going to happen. They did it one time. They can't get away with it again in 2 years. So this year, it's just so early in the year. That's not. Also, we have to be a little bit more objective too. And the Dodgers have to still play, hundreds of games. Well, not hundreds of games. I mean, they still got to play 150 odd games or so before the season's over. There's still so many games left, right? I mean, this is an extremely long season. 162 games are played in Major League Baseball. So many games to go. So let's also kind of hold on and not think the Dodgers will be unbeatable all year because they're going to run through some challenges for sure as the months go along for sure. We got Don't Care 187 saying Muncy spotted the Braves 5 runs. That's right. Definitely Max Muncy really came through tonight. Super excited for Max after the early season struggles. So really, really good to see that for sure. Kali saying Dodgers will break all kinds of records. That's right. This Dodger team looks like they are going to break all kinds of records. They've already broken records to kick off the year. It's only been a month, and they're already, not even a month, it's been weeks, and they're already breaking records, right? So this team is definitely set up to break tons of records, and it's definitely, really important, really going to be fun all year long to see this team because they are really going to be a team to watch for sure. Jay Villain saying agreed. Kali. We got Devin Richards saying, I'm sure you're right. Just have to wait and see. I'll be so happy to see San Diego. Yeah, of course we're going to be happy to see San Diego lose, right? I mean, San Diego is not a team that Dodger fans like, and I don't think the Dodgers like them either, right? I don't think the Dodgers as a team really like San Diego. That you can see both teams dislike each other for sure. We've had this debate with Brad talking about whether San Diego is the new rival for the Dodgers. I would disagree. I think the Giants are still the biggest rival for the Dodgers, going back all the way back to the New York days. So I still think they're the top rival, but the last few years, San Diego has definitely kind of been a team that has hopped in and caused some trouble for the Dodgers. Right? They knocked the Dodgers out of the playoffs a few years back. Let's not forget that. They knocked the Dodgers out of the playoffs a few years back, so I think that's where this rivalry kind of blew up, and it is now being talked about all across Major League Baseball, right, since that occurrence. Devin Richards asking, am I wrong to think that Ohtani is the second coming or closest thing to Babe Ruth we've seen? It's hard not to compare the two. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not hard to, it's not, you have to compare both of them, right? I mean, Shohei Ohtani, Babe Ruth, when it's all said and done, they're going to be talked about together, right? I mean, because it's true. I mean, Ohtani is the first player since Babe Ruth to really be a competitive pitcher and hitter, right? There hasn't been anybody like him, right? So they're both going to be in the same sentence. They're both, we know Ruth is in the Hall of Fame, but Ohtani's on his way there as well. They're not going to put him in now because he's still playing, but I mean, I'm sure that some people will want to put him in already, but I mean, we can't yet because there's still more to come from Ohtani, right? There's still so much more to come from Ohtani in the next couple years. I think he's got at least 2 to 3 more years at this level, right? I'm sure in a few years, he's going to start to decline, but we're going to get the next 2 to 3 years of the same Shohei Ohtani, right? I really believe that. I don't know what everybody thinks, but I really think Ohtani for the next 3 years is going to be the same or just get better year in, year out, right? Barring injury, which is always the case for any athlete, that is what we're going to get from Shohei. Benjamin Sun saying Robleski and Miller pitched 10 and 1/3 innings, 0 runs in their last OKC starts. Yeah, that's good to see Robleski and Bobby Miller down with the AAA club pitching well. Super cool. Kali saying, yes, the road is long. Jay Villain saying, agree the Giants are still a rival. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. The Giants are still the rival. They're still the team that the Dodger fans and Dodger players historically, have developed a lot of hatred towards. And also the Giants as well, right? I mean, they definitely don't like the Dodgers, right? So it's definitely a heated rivalry between the Bay Area and LA all the time. We got Benjamin's son saying Gonsolin, Phillips, and Kopech are all nearly ready to come back, which is going to make this team even better, right? This is going to be even better when all these guys come back, right? They think about it. The Dodgers have injuries already when it comes to pitchers, but they've had, some guys fill in, We've seen, guys definitely do their job, and, Ben Kasperius was out there, young pitcher for the Dodgers, got into a jam, he got through it, right? He got into a jam, and he was able to get through it, basically. So that's important to watch, for sure, when young guys like that on your team can do that. Jay Villeneuve is asking, would you be surprised if the Dodgers put Ohtani on the mound, right? I mean, yeah, sure, I would be surprised if they're going to put him on. I mean, we know that he's already throwing bullpen sessions already, trying to get back into game shape. We're definitely seeing that, but I really think that I'm going to be surprised if we see him, really pitch soon, right? I mean, I think it's going to be they're gonna really take their time, right? I mean, it's not a player that they want to risk, putting out there because offensively he's just so dominant, right? He's just so dominant for the Dodgers that how can you just kind of risk it like that? I mean, I just don't see that happening. We got Devin Richards saying, I think we should use Ohtani. We use Shohei sparingly on the mound. Preserve it up, but still giving the pitching opportunity. Yeah, it would be, the Dodgers could, of course, do that, but also I think the Dodgers don't want to risk giving him days off. Because that's the thing. If Ohtani comes back to the mound and starts pitching, he's going to need days off. And how do you give Ohtani a day off when he does things like tonight? How? How do you give him a day off? After what he did tonight, how do you possibly sit this guy out? I mean, with the Angels, Ohtani was a player that was, taking days off all the time when he had starts, right? He would take the day off before the start, after the start. It was something that Ohtani did all the time on the Angels, right? So it's not. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do that, this year, right? I think they don't want to risk it. They don't want to, not have him play. They want him playing every day. The Dodgers want Ohtani to play every day. They want him batting 4 or 5 times. They want to get it all, right? They want walk-off home runs from Shohei like tonight. And, the Dodgers just don't need him to pitch, really. They just don't need him to pitch, basically. I don't know what everybody thinks, but I just don't think the Dodgers really need Ohtani to pitch, period. They just don't need him to pitch as time goes on. You're seeing it more and more. The Dodgers have so many pitchers. They just don't need him to pitch, really. So that's what it's coming down to. We got Jay Villain saying MLB All-Star Game, Dodgers versus everyone else. That's kind of what it's turning into here, right? I mean, the Dodgers are the All-Star team, and everybody else is like a step behind. That's really what it's looking like in Major League Baseball right now. Dodgers are the MLB All-Stars of baseball, and everybody else is kind of below them, right? I mean, that's really what the Dodgers have done with their, new setup, with their new acquisitions. They have separated themselves from everybody in Major League Baseball. That's exactly what they've done. Good observation there for sure. Golly saying, Kopech, when will he be back? We'll be back soon. I believe he's about a week or so away, if I'm not mistaken. But that is the case. Dodgers and Padres will play till May. But I thought it was early June, if I'm not mistaken, Connor. I think it's early June when the Dodgers and Padres will be playing, but I don't have the schedule in front of me. I think I was checking that last week. But yeah, Dodgers San Diego will be it's going to be super fun to watch them play. I mean, come on, San Diego's still right behind the Dodgers for the division. I mean, it's going to be super fun to watch that, right? I mean, that's going to be for sure super fun to watch if both teams are still interlocked trying to win the division. We got a question here from Jay Villain asking, Mike, what is the one thing that surprised you most this year with the Dodgers? Well, what surprised me most with this Dodger team is that I don't see any World Series hangover. I mean, this is the first time, at least in my lifetime, that I've seen a team that win a World Series and basically keep winning games to start off the next year. I have not seen that. I mean, usually teams a year after, look at the Texas Rangers last year. Texas Rangers won the World Series in 2023, and then in 2024, they missed the playoffs. They didn't even go to the playoffs last year, the Texas Rangers, right? They didn't even go to the playoffs. They were bad from the start. They had a rough April, a rough May. They ran into injuries. They were bad. They never had a shot to go to the playoffs. And that was a normal World Series hangover team. So that's what I'm surprised with. This team has no World Series hangover. They look even better than last year. More motivated, more competitive. Mookie Betts has been great. I mean, Freddie Freeman. Think about it, Freddie Freeman's not even playing right now. He missed the whole series after falling in the shower on Monday. He hasn't even played at all in this series, and they still have swept the Braves, right? So that's what's scary. I mean, the rest of baseball's got to be scared with the Dodgers because this team is probably not even at where they're going to be in the next few months. I mean, they're going to be at another level in 3-4 months, and good luck. If you can't beat the Dodgers now, how are you going to beat them in July, August, right? I mean, that's really what's going to happen here. I mean, you got to try to beat this team now because they're not at full strength yet. Nobody's at full strength. How can you be? I mean, you just had a long off season. You just had the playoffs last year. You got to have some tired, feelings. You got to have some, players that are not really, as you can see, the Dodgers have injuries to start off this year in their bullpen. There's guys that are not 100%, still kind of reeling from last year. This is the time to beat the Dodgers. This is the time to beat them, and it seems like nobody can. Well, nobody has, right? It's still, the Dodgers are undefeated. Kylie's saying, why are the Dodgers playing East Coast teams first? Not sure why. Of course, you got to ask the schedule makers, although I believe that comment is old-fashioned now, right? The schedule makers, because that used to be what you would call the people who would make the schedule, but now the schedule makers are AI, so there is no more schedule makers, right? I mean, that is something that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I remember reading about this once. I can't remember if I read this in Baseball America or if it was on Sports Illustrated, one of those two baseball magazines, talking about there was basically the old schedule makers was like a couple, a husband and a wife. I believe they were in the South, in Alabama or Georgia, and they used to make the schedule for baseball for like 50 years or something, or probably not 50, but I mean, it was a long time, like 30, 40 years, this couple used to make the schedule for baseball, and they lived in this very small town, right? A little less than 5,000 people living there, living in small towns. I've lived in a very small town in the past, and, it's pretty crazy that this couple from this small town was making the schedule for the whole entire Major League Baseball, so it's pretty crazy. So, no, now the schedule makers are AI. Not the same. I think I would have liked schedule makers, right? I think that would have been something cool for sure. We got another comment here for Jay Villain saying, Dodgers do look hungry. Yeah, super hungry for sure. We got Connor saying, you're right, Mike, it's not May 9th, it's June 9th. That's right, June 9th is when the first time San Diego and LA are going to play. So it's kind of a couple. I would have liked the Dodgers and San Diego to play in the first month or May, just to kind of get that first series early on. But no, it's not going to be till June. So we got to wait a little bit, see where both teams are at. But I expect the Dodgers to be in first place. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't expect anything different. I mean, this team should be sitting comfortably in first place when those games come along in June. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. So, I mean, I expect them to be in first, and San Diego maybe will be kind of tailing them, right? Maybe not. I mean, if they're like less than 5 games behind the Dodgers for that June 9th series, then we got ourselves a pretty fun few days to sit back and enjoy some real baseball, right? Because if that's the case, then we're going to get ourselves some very good games. I don't know why the last few years, but those games between both of these teams have been super fun to watch, extremely fun to watch. Jay Villain saying, did we make a trade today? Yes, we did make a trade. We got one of the best stolen base players, Reese. We're going to be posting a video about that very soon on the channel. So once I'm done here, we're going to be posting that very soon for sure to talk about that trade. Dodgers and Padres, I thought were until June 9th. Yeah, so not until June. This is from Gary. Gary also saying, trust me, I'm marking my calendar. Yeah, you got to mark your calendar, Dodger fans, for that series, because that could be a series that's going to be a defining moment for, the division, right? For sure. Connor Kenway saying, when Muncy made those errors, people were commenting nothing but negative comments online. Glad he came through in the clutch. Is there a reason why the Dodgers didn't pull the trigger on Arenado? So, good comment there, good question there from Connor. Well, yeah, I mean, Muncy made some mistakes early on, and yeah, there were some fans definitely booing Muncy and not sticking by your team. We've seen that, unfortunately, from Dodger fans before, and super cool that he came through at the end and kind of made up for that early, made up for it. Come on, he got a big 2-out double in the 8th inning. The Dodgers wouldn't have won this game without Muncy for sure. And super glad he came through. Now, the question was, is there a reason why the Dodgers did? Well, the Dodgers did want to pull the trigger on Arenado, right? They were very close to making that trade. Super close, but let's not forget, Nolan also wanted to come to L.A. We covered that on the channel a few months back. Nolan wanted to come to L.A., but the Cardinals refused to trade Nolan to the Dodgers, right? That's really, in the end, what this came down to. The Cardinals did not want to make a trade with LA because Nolan was set on coming to LA. We heard this from multiple sources that his team of destination was the LA Dodgers, right? And that's probably the main reason why Nolan has not been traded, because he wants to come to LA. So that trade did not happen because of St. Louis. So Max Muncy would probably be with St. Louis right now if they wanted it, right? That's really the truth of it. So that is the reason why we didn't get Arenado. I feel like the Dodgers don't want it. I would be interested in Murakami. Yes, they would be interested in Murakami, but I disagree with that. I do think they want Nolan, and I think Nolan wants to come to LA as well. But the Cardinals don't want to trade him here. That's really what it comes down to. Colley's saying Conforto putting in work. Sure is. Gary saying no Muncy slander. These fools have short memory of last October. That's right. I mean, yeah, these people really have forgotten about what Max Muncy has done for the Dodgers. I mean, this guy's been with the Dodgers for 10 years. Come on. This guy is a Dodger blue through and through, right? I mean, that is exactly what Max Muncy, the funky Muncy, has been for the LA Dodgers. So we definitely love Max Muncy. And tonight he's a big hero, right? Come on, 2-out double. Super awesome moment. Dodgers come back. And, I want to thank everybody who's hopping on the stream. We've had a lot of participation today, which makes the live stream even better, right? When we're getting all these comments and questions. So keep getting those comments our way. Keep, telling me where you're watching us from, what part of the world you're watching us. Did you get out of the parking lot yet? Tell me below. We got, this is our version of sports talk radio, right? Like you call up the radio station. We don't got phone lines, but we got the chat room here so everybody can kind of, talk to me here on the channel for sure. We got MP saying Nolan over Muncy. Wow, that's definitely a that's a bold statement. Nolan over Muncy. It's close. I think Muncy's a World Series champion though, so I don't think Muncy. I think Muncy gets the edge. Come on, this guy is a world champion, so that is it alone. So we got. I thought Muncy's. Thoughts on Muncy did great in the playoffs. J-Ville and Schilling. Yeah, I mean Muncy did do great in the playoffs, right? I mean Muncy did definitely do good. So definitely excited to see him. We talked about this with Brad on Monday, right? I mean this guy's last year on his contract, got motivation to do well. So we're gonna have to see. Muncy did struggle, like MP saying, in the World Series, but he came through in the NLDS and in the NLCS, right? He had some clutch hits, not forget about that. So, did struggle in the World Series, but he did, he came through for the Dodgers, I think, in moments, needed for sure in the NLCS. We got MP, doesn't matter. Look at CT3. How many years, but what is he good? Yeah, I mean, CT3 is a player that is on the trading block. We've talked about that. Chris Taylor is a player the Dodgers are actively trying to shop, right? They're trying to shop him away. They are a team that's trying to shop this guy away. So, yeah, I mean, the question is who's going to want to who's going to want to pay that salary? That's really what it comes down to, right? Who's going to want to pay that salary? So, that's what it comes down to. We got MP saying Muncy's a World Series champ because of the team he's on. Don't forget, Muncy has been with the Dodgers for a long time. He's been here for a long time. Sure, he's a player that has bounced around before. Colley's saying no soft talk here. Yeah, exactly. We don't do that soft talk here. We're the best Dodger channel out there. I'm sure there's a bunch of a lot of other channels that claim to be the best, but we are the best. I mean, you wanted the best, we got the best. You got the best in the words of the legendary Kiss. As you guys know, I'm a big Kiss fan. I remember last year when I did that really cool video on, the Catman, right? Of course, Tony Gonsolin, the Catman, as we know, Peter Criss. So for those Kiss fans out there, if you watched that video last year, you got a lot of views. All the Kiss Nation watching that, but yeah. You wanted the best, you got the best. You got Dodgers Digest, no doubt about it. So What else we got here? We got who will be sent down to the minors when Kopech returns? Yeah, very good question. I mean, I don't know nobody. I mean, the way this team is going, I mean, I don't want to send anybody down, right? I mean, this team's got so many good pitchers. I mean, just we got to. I don't want to send anybody down, but we have to, right? So, I guess Jack Dreyer would be probably the pitcher who would be on the outside looking in, right? I would say him. He would probably be the guy that they would send down if whenever Kopech comes back, right? MP saying he did, but we focus on World Series alone. He wasn't completely history. All talk. Nolan will be in the Hall of Fame. Muncy won't. That's a good point though. Yeah. So Nolan is potentially a future Hall of Famer, whereas Max Muncy isn't, right? There's no doubt about that. So because of the numbers that Nolan, so if you want to have a future Hall of Famer on your team, yeah, then of course you'd get Nolan. Like I said, the Dodgers do want Nolan Arenado, and he wants to come to the Dodgers as well. It's a mutual thing. It's a mutual connection. Both parties want to make this deal happen. You just have to blame the St. Louis Cardinals for not making that trade, because he wants to come to LA and the Dodgers want him. It would be another star player to come to LA now at third base. And this trade could still happen. Trade deadline still months away. Cardinals just lost 2 out of 3 against the Angels. Not looking good for them to start out the year. So that trade could definitely happen. I'm wondering what we're going to get from Kershaw this season. Thoughts? Well, I mean, my thoughts on Clayton Kershaw are super controversial. Like I said before, I don't think the Dodgers should have re-signed Clayton. The last couple years, he has not been a player that has been an asset to this team. And I disagree with bringing him back. I think it was a mistake for the Dodgers to re-sign him. So we'll see what he could do, helping out, of course, with helping the young guys out. Because I really think it's not going to be much from Kershaw this year, especially going to be missing till August. He'll be back, so it's a lot of months he's going to be out. MP saying we also need a center fielder. Pajes can get traded. Potentially. I don't think he will be. I don't think it's St. Louis. I heard it was the Dodgers not making an offer. I think St. Louis did not want to trade Nolan to the Dodgers. So I do think that was what sources did confirm. So I want to thank everybody for hopping on the stream here. We've been on for almost an hour. Wow, that hour flew right by. It's been super fun to talk to everybody. I want to thank everybody for hopping on. Make sure you like this video and share it as well. We've got a lot of cool content coming this way. Watch-alongs on the channel and breaking news. It's super fun here covering the Dodgers with everybody. We got the Monday morning live stream. We got these cool post games. So super fun talking to everybody. Dodgers defeat the Braves. A walk-off home run from Shohei Ohtani. And super fun for sure. Yeah. Appreciate everybody for watching. Good night, everybody. And as always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!